By the end of the 1950s, radio drama was at its best, despite the fact that drama on radio would disappear just a few years later when radio was totally eclipsed by television. During this time, CBS remained the leader in quality broadcasting with shows such as Gunsmoke, The CBS Workshop, Jack Benny, Fort Laramie, Our Miss Brooks, and yours truly, Johnny Dollar. There is one series, though, that stands out as being the shining example of just how far radio writing, acting, recording, and special music had come by the late 1950s. That series, from 1958, was Frontier Gentlemen. And the haunting theme for Frontier Gentlemen was written by a CBS radio composer, Jerry Goldsmith, who would go on to become a legendary movie soundtrack composer. Other motifs were added by Wilbur Hatch. The entire series was conceived, directed, and written by one person, Anthony Ellis, best known for his contributions to TV westerns. Ellis was born in England, and that brings us full circle to Frontier Gentlemen.
I feel that I cannot leave Wyoming Territory without describing my encounter with Nebraska Jack and his remarkable family.
Frontier Gentlemen. An Englishman's account of life and death in the West. As a reporter for the London Times, he writes his colorful and unusual stories. But as a man with a gun, he lives and becomes a part of the violent years in the new territories.
Much of the beauty of Frontier Gentlemen is the writing of Anthony Ellis, but also the acting of John Dehner. Listen to the nuances in his voice. He meets a young man in Montana who asks him for some shooting lessons and finds out he doesn't need them.
All right. You say the word. I'll draw.
Ready? Now.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's mighty fine shooting, Mr. Kendall.
Thank you. Let me see you try.
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now you draw when I say the word. Draw. How many bullets did you have in there?
5.
Is the other gun loaded? Do you mind doing that again? Good Lord.
In another episode, Kendall runs into a woman named Amy, who has been named Justice of the Peace of a small town. As they enter a barn, they find an innocent Native American named Red Dog seated atop a horse with a noose around his neck, and they can do nothing to stop the lynching. Listen as the man dies, and all you hear is the sound of the rope.
All right, help me get him up on a horse.
Give a hand, extension, and we're finished with that. Listen to me. No.
Take your hands off him.
Put away the scatter gun, Amy. This ain't no concern of yourn. What's got to be done has got to be.
Sheriff, take your prisoner down off that horse. Walk him up to the jailhouse.
My brother's got his lamp blowed out, but this here Arapaho, I ain't feel no guilt.
Then why not let the law decide? You're the law, all of you. Give him the right to defend himself. Form your jury. Prosecute him, but not this way.
He's right. Listen to him.
He's wrong. Dead wrong. So long, Jack.
They didn't look at Jack Red Dog when they finally cut him down. That is, they tried not to. Nor could they look at each other. One spoke of getting a drink, and the others agreed that a man could work up quite a thirst at a lynching. The shaft of sunlight fell on the dead man's frayed moccasin.
I sure hope he was guilty.
Would that make it better?
He spoke of a wife and child.
Yeah, they live up behind the Black Canyon diggings.
They were bound to hang him, mostly, I think, because he was an Indian.
Well, take him up to his wife. Better tie him on the horse.
No. I'll bring my wagon. Put him in that. He rode his last horse.
The writing is sympathetic, and the music is just wonderful. Finally, here's part of an episode in which J.B. Kendall runs up against the Powder River Kid. He encounters the gunman while the gunman is dying, and the gunman tries to convince Kendall to finish off the job.
There's a reward for me. It ain't much, only $2,000, but it means something for Dory. I ain't gonna pay no reward for a man that's died natural like. Or if they do like us not, go to that Marshall fella for starting me off. I want you to fix it so Dory can get it.
Well, how?
You fill me full of lead.
Shoot you?
Yeah, shoot me.
No.
I trust you. You see, I trust you to give the money to Dory.
You're out of your head.
No, mister. I ain't last night, but not now. It's the best I can do for her. She's a good woman. Now let me give her something so she don't have to go back to what she was.
I can't kill you.
You got a right to. Look, I'm wanted, Kendall. I've done more killings than I can remember. It ain't a wrong thing for you to do. You could say I was trying to escape.
No, I can't.
If not drawn,
It doesn't make any difference. We both know you wouldn't shoot. I'm sorry. I don't think he felt very much pain after that. He just drank Scales whiskey and talked quietly to his wife. He died just before the sun went down.
Then Kendall leaves with the dead gunman's body to go back and get the reward. But first, he has to do an awful deed. Listen to John Dehner's acting here.
Just before I rode away, I saw Mrs. Logan watching me, crying. A soundless, terrible cry. I must have traveled 10 miles in the night before I found the courage to do what I had to do. I led the horses off the road, tethered them, and took down Logan's body. He looked peaceful. Forgive me, Logan. I delivered the body to the marshal in Helena and collected $2,000 reward for the capture and killing of Little Logan, alias the Powder River Kid. Then I took the horses and rode back to where I'd left the wagon. I took Logan's horse and caught up with Mrs. Logan and her brother a little further along the Mullen Road. I gave her the $2,000, and together we rode on into Fort Benton, Montana Territory.
There are fewer than 40 episodes of Frontier Gentlemen, and the quality is not that great. But we can hear the tremendous acting style of John Dehner and the acting of the supporting cast, the music of Jerry Goldsmith and Wilbur Hatch, and the wonderful writing and directing of Anthony Ellis on CBS in 1958. Frontier Gentlemen. I'm Dennis Daly.